are, having aired 100 episodes of I Want to Know Your Story. Did I think when I first started this that I would be airing 100 people's incredible stories? Probably not. Did I hope for it? Sure. But I'm here today to talk about the last 10 episodes that led us to 100. Episode 91, Coco Cabrel. Coco is, I don't know how else to describe her, but a ball of energy, a ball of fire, and a ball of fun. She has an MD behind her name, but chose not to practice medicine. She told her mom at the last minute. I think that takes a lot of guts. She has a desire to help people and a real flair for connecting with other human beings. Please click the link and watch her episode 91. Now, episode 92, Jordan Brady. I met with Jordan in his studio in LA. It is so nice to sit with someone that just comes across so genuine and really wants to help other people. Jordan is a commercial director who runs a school to help others who want to do what he's doing. He's done some very interesting things. He informed us during the interview that he was responsible for directing all of the Lego My Ego commercials. So little geek out moment there from my childhood, so that was pretty fun. But Jordan talks about opening his eyes to possibilities and to things that he had passed judgment on and wants to support other people. So check out his interview. Moving on to interview number 93, Robbie Gordon. Robbie was an introduction from Grey Coots. I didn't know what to expect going to the Hollywood Sculpture Garden, which is actually Robbie's home. So the outside is this amazing walk through worldly art. The inside is Robbie's own gallery, mostly his art inside, everything from countertops in the kitchen to window shades that roll down with his very own paintings on them. He designed furniture, he designed his life, but he also talks about how he got here. I was very surprised to learn that Robbie was a veterinarian and that he also was big in finance. He makes the glasses that he is wearing and makes you smile. Definitely, if you haven't watched it, watch Robbie give us a wonderful tour of the Hollywood Sculpture Garden, the Hollywood Gallery, and who he is. On to interview and episode 94, Sean Dillingham. Sean reached out to me wanting to do an interview, and I couldn't be happier to have set this up. I laughed so hard as Sean described the different roles he had and even his own kind of like shell shock when working with bigger names in the industry and just how that felt to have compliments from your peers and those who have been doing this a long time and are well respected. I think there's something to be said for paying it forward and really valuing family and your journey. So thank you again for Sean sitting down with me. I hope you have watched his interview. Interview 95, Sonia Shelton. Yet another referral from Grey Coots. Big supporter of the show after doing his own interview that he said was out of his comfort zone, which I'm beyond grateful because he, again, sent Sonia Shelton to sit down with me. Sonia was a self-starter from a young age. She's so inspiring. She just knew that she wanted to own her own business and how to do that, from learning from a young age, listening to what her parents were doing in running their own business, and to have the forethought to really take in what she was hearing at a young age, to be able to implement that later in her own world. And then, of course, the surprising part of her interview where she's into like heavy metal type music and loud rock music and just very cool and different from her well put together exterior persona, not to mention her spiritual side. It is just amazing to talk to her and truly see that you can never judge a book by its cover because we all have so many layers, so much depth, and so much going on. Definitely watch my interview with Sonia. Now on to Matt Woosnam. I was referred to interview Matt by Kim Hopkins, another wonderful supporter of the show. I am beyond grateful for all of these connections that everyone makes after having such a good experience sitting down with me. That's the best compliment, right? Well, Matt is a hypnotherapist and a life coach. And isn't it amazing when you listen to his voice how he can just lull you into utter relaxation? After I finished filming with Matt, who in our conversation talked about meeting his wife at an airport and this chance encounter that turned into a lifelong bond. They have kids, they enjoy their life, and he enjoys paying it forward. After, like I said, we sat down, I was lucky enough to have a session with Matt in appreciation for him being on the channel. I was so refreshed afterwards and really empowered to start my day. So definitely watch the interview, but reach out to Matt, do a session of your own. On to John Mark Hurley, interview episode number 97. Another referral from Kim Hopkins. Again, thanks Kim for all the support and love. John Mark was so funny and so much energy. He was an onstage theater actor, transitioned to behind the camera. He talks about how that translates into a lot of life transitions and growth. So go through positions you hold parallels the growth you hold in your own life. So I enjoyed that. He also talked about his love for wine, which I happen to share too. So we bonded over that a little bit. But most importantly, he sang for me. It is interesting that the song he chose to sing was from one of my favorite movies. So definitely watch the interview that I share with John Mark Hurley. You won't be disappointed. Now, Danny Arroyo, interview 98. Danny kept asking me, where is this interview going? What are we going to talk about? I said, I don't know. I meet you just at the same time as everyone else. And boy, what a meeting. Energy, spirituality, vision, honesty, raw about your personality and your experiences. Just being there, and Danny even commented on it in our conversation. You can see it in the interview. He says that the energy he was receiving from me was sheer presence. And I felt the same from him. We were just having a conversation, but he's so positive and so focused. And like he said, 6 years straight of meditating. I'm a firm believer in how calming and relaxing meditation can be. If you haven't ever tried it, you definitely should. Maybe reach out to Danny and find out what he likes most or how he got started. But definitely watch our conversation. Interview and episode 99, Rubin. Lori is actually how I met Danny. So that was a very kind introduction. Lori is the fiance of Michael Blum, who you might remember from the last 10 Block episode. And Lori wanted to sit down and talk about her journey through life. What a journey it was, too. She's written books, she's expressed herself and her life through art, and she's a makeup artist and loves all of it. And she's a mom. She loves her life. She loves hearing the stories of others and getting to know people. You'll notice in her interview, I imposed some of the photos of her art, the cover of her book. I highly recommend reading Xbox. It is an incredible journey of a woman basically finding herself through some recent tragedy and experience. It really speaks to me, and I hope it would speak to you. Lori definitely speaks to you in our conversation, so go back, watch her interview if you haven't already. Now, here we are, episode 100. I am still like glowing in shock that I've reached this incredible milestone, and I'm humbled by all of the people who have shared their stories. Now, interview 100, Tommy Hollenstein. Tommy was yet another referral from Kim Hopkins. I'm beyond grateful for these people who refer others, but then for their willingness to sit down and talk to me. Tommy is an artist. He paints with his wheelchair. Tommy was left wheelchair bound after a bicycle accident when he was younger. He talks about his entire journey in our conversation. Tommy's was an episode that required no editing. Pure, genuine flow of conversation, meeting him, getting to know his story. I was in complete awe of him. The incredible things that Tommy has done, what he stands for, what inspires him, and how inspired by him I was. I'm better for knowing him and all of these people that have shared their stories. Each person lends a little nugget to my life, as I hope they've lended a nugget to yours. I really appreciate everyone who has sat down with me to make up these 100 episodes so far of I Want to Know Your Story. And even more, I thank you all for sitting down and watching them and empowering these people to keep sharing, to know they should be heard, to know that their story is important and that they are valued human beings. Stay tuned for the next 100. I can't wait either.